speaking
Oh,
of
they give to
social
you.
media, Joe Rogan, man, he's feeling it right now. Like when you start slipping, they want you to slip and break your neck. They
They
don't just
say
want
they
you to fall.
they say when it rains it pours.
This is like this is I've never seen this before. I've seen people get drugged before, but this is in quick succession. He put out his apology statement for the N word, right?
Mhm.
And his apology was like 5 minutes. I don't want to play the video for people. You probably, if you're watching this video, you've seen it. But I'll start with you. What do you think of his apology?
I mean, he said a few things in it, right? He said the few things that he said that stood out to me was pretty much the part where he's just like, listen, he wanted to point out the fact that he's not racist. He said that when he said these things, when he said the N word specifically, not these things, that they were taken out of context with the video. He also said that this was a long time ago. He doesn't feel like that. He was the reason that he was using the term is he thought that it would be okay if he was explaining it and using it in the context where other
Right,
people use it,
right,
right?
right.
So he felt like at the time that it was okay. He wasn't trying to say it in a demeaning way, right? There's never a time where, well, in his words, there's never a time where he used it in a demeaning way. I beg to differ, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But throughout his entire explanation or whatever it is that he was saying, I just heard a man who was trying to justify whether or not he's racist and whether or not that's a question. And that's something that I had to think about, right? Can you be a person who says these terms or uses these slurs or anything like that and not be a racist? I
Well,
want to know what you think first, though.
yeah, just before I speak to that,
Yeah,
I do want to point out that I think his apology was very sincere, and I believe him personally. Me, I also
right,
think he's stupid because I think he was stupid the many times that he used it. Those are stupid things to do. Only because if he felt he was legitimately able to say these things within the context and people would be okay with it, right? I would have to say, okay, Joe Rogan, do you like rap? Oh, work, you like rap? Okay, cool. Do you listen to Dre? Like you listen? Because if he listens to hip hop, they say nigga a lot in hip hop. That means I'd have to believe that Joe Rogan, when they drop the N word in the hip hop song, he sings along with the song because it's in
right.
context, right? But if he was to say, no, I don't do that, why would I do that? Well, you just said if it's in context, it's okay. So that's why I'd have to call bullshit on that explanation. However, I do believe that people make mistakes. I do believe that people grow. Do I think Joe Rogan is racist? Absolutely not.
Right.
To what you were saying there, white people, can you ever just be able to use the N word? No, no. It's just not your word to say. You know what I mean? And you could flip it any which way. Well, we created it. Well, why? You just can't say the word. You just can't say it. Period.
If you use it though, if you use it though, does it automatically make you racist?
No, it doesn't. It makes you stupid. You got to be able to, in order to be racist, it require, in my opinion, anyways, and I'm no expert on race, but in my opinion, in order to be racist, it requires actions. It requires actions. If I
Right.
look at you and I'm like, you dumb nigger, your nigger ass never even graduated high school and all you do is nigger jobs all day. Or I could even say it sophisticatedly, right? Lord have mercy. Sorry about that. But all that means is I'm ignorant. I can't formulate an insult that would be effective. So I got to go low because I'm dumb. I'm stupid.
Right.
So that's why to me it's just ignorance. Racism. Racism, bro. If I'm trying to start a business, I meet all the qualifications. My credit is fan freaking tastic. I go to apply for a loan. The business I'm trying to start is something to help my community. I still get declined. I might. And if there's history of that, then yes, you are stopping the growth and the betterment of my people. That to me is racism. But again, I'm no expert.
Right. So to touch back on what I was talking about earlier when I said that, he said he was trying to say that he didn't mean it in any demeaning way. Just the way that he was using it was just a way that he thought in the context was appropriate. That's all. That's all he was saying. The reason I have a problem with that is because in the same sentence, he also said that he knew that that word wasn't made for him. He knew, like those are his words. He knew that that word wasn't for him. So I sit here and you ask me, do I think Joe Rogan is racist? My answer is no. I honestly, I don't think Joe Rogan is racist. I just think, like you said, he's an idiot for using that word, for even thinking for a second that there was a context for creating, because he had to have created a context himself. Nobody told him. There's no black person that went up to him and said, you know what, Joe, you shouldn't really say the word nigger. But there's certain contexts where it's okay if a white person, there's no black person ever said that to him. You know what I mean? So for him to go in and say it, that was a stupid, stupid move. The fact that he did it so often, though, that's what lets me know that that's what lets me know that he's either the biggest idiot in the world or he's not a racist. Because you're not going to go on a podcast and try to build a podcast out there and try to build a career, especially a career that he's built, and go out there and be saying this term like that and trying to be saying it in an insulting way and expecting that your career is going to just pop off and not address it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that Joe Rogan's not dumb. He knows the power that he wields as far as the podcast goes. So he's not going to let that fly if he meant it in a bad way. He totally forgot about it.
Exactly. The guy's not racist, and clearly this is just spill over from the whatchamacallit there. The COVID stuff, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where Spotify had to defend him. And
this is cancel culture. This is cancel culture on steroids, right? Because they've tried a few things already, and nothing's worked. Nothing's worked to cancel Joe Rogan so far. People pull their music off Spotify. They go release video clips. They go put him all of a sudden all over the media in negative lights. And guess what? Spotify still stand by him. His podcast still going on. Still has the same contract.
Man, as they should. It's called freedom of speech. As long as it's not hateful speech. And by all accounts, if you notice the way that video was slapped together, no context was provided, because believe me, if he would have said it in, these niggers are stupid, the whole thing would have been there. So they're just basically throwing shit at a wall and trying to see what sticks. Look, at the end of the day, Spotify yanked 70 Joe Rogan Experience episodes that had any sort of an indication of a racial slur. First of all, it's not like they said we yanked 10 episodes because within those 10 episodes, he kind of hinted at racial slurs. No, they yanked 70 episodes.
Right.
So, jury exhibit B as to why this guy is stupid, not racist, just stupid, because he did it 70 individual times. How could you be on such a massive platform and do it 70 individual times unless you really were just trying to make a point? If you were racist, you wouldn't do it that often on such a massive platform, because you would lose your platform, or at least your deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they yanked those bitches. I seen that today. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but okay. So listen, we don't know Joe Rogan, first of all. Obviously, we don't have to point that out. But the opinion that I'm making is based on that thought, and also other people who do know Joe Rogan that I have heard come out in his defense. Obviously the big story is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson kind of backpedaled on his support of Joe Rogan when this N-word thing came out. He kind of backpedaled on his support, but that's one person. I've just heard multiple people of color who have been around this guy in real life, and they all say they don't feel like he's a racist. You know what I mean? So I go off of that. I go off of my own opinion. I go off the fact that, some people are just stupid. And sometimes when you get into a position, you feel like you can just say whatever. And I believe in freedom of speech. I do. But unfortunately, there's certain freedoms that not everybody has. Okay,
bro. But you know what though? When you speak to freedom of speech and just your platform or the home for your platform kind of giving you free range, you could almost kind of blame Spotify for this, man. Yo, why? They should have spanked him a long time ago. I just told you they pulled 70 episodes. Yeah, but they allowed. Hold up. Let me say this piece. They allowed him to say these things because in their minds, the context that he was providing was okay. So, bro, if you're not telling me what I'm doing is wrong, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep doing it.
I hear
So
you. I hear you. But saying that you yanked 70 episodes sounds horrible, right? But we don't know exactly what was said. And I'm not defending Joe Rogan. I'm just saying that Spotify probably took it upon themselves to be super sensitive at this point because they don't want anything else coming out. So in those 70 episodes, there's probably some things that are so light and so minute, but could be risky that they decided just to swap it. This one's no. If we feel like it could be even a little bit, it's gone.
well, they
So
should
I
have been
feel like
on
they just
that
took it. I feel like they just took it to the, but it could have been something at the time because remember this man has been on doing podcasts for a long time at a time when
over a
the world
decade.
wasn't as sensitive as it is now,
That's a good
right?
point. That's a good
The
point.
world is way more sensitive as to what can be said now versus when he started doing this. So when he said those things on his podcast, people wouldn't
it
have
was
looked at
cool.
it the same
Right,
way.
right.
Now, though, Spotify is going to look at it and say, listen, you could have got away with this in 2009, 2008, but now it can't fly. Gone. That's what happened. That's what happened.
You know what sucks about this whole thing is Joe Rogan has a dope job, but I'd be like, man, I don't know if I want a podcast today. like I can't, like, what can I say? Like, I don't want to. I mean, of course, you shouldn't have to try hard to not offend somebody based on the color of their skin. That should just be natural, right? But I'm just saying, I would be worried about other stuff because Joe Rogan, his content, from my understanding, is very conspiracy. You know what
Well,
I
listen,
mean? I'll be worried about the stuff I say.
if he does what he says he was going to do and bring on people with opinions that are opposite of his, and he does all those things that he said in his apology before this apology, then it should be fine because then no people have no real arguments because their argument right now is everything that he's doing is one-sided as far as the COVID talks and the misinformation. So as long as he brings that, as long as he gets rid of that, then people have nothing else to argue about. Of course,
You
they're
know,
going to dig and find more things, but
you
he's
know
not
what
going
I
to
would
get
do?
canceled.
You know what I would do if I was Rogan? I'd get like Crunchy Black from 3 6 Mafia or like Trick Daddy, just a nigga that would say nigga a lot. Bring him right on and have him call me, the white guy, nigga. Just the whole episode, my nigga, Joe
Oh my
Rogan, my nigga, just to with people. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm that guy.
yeah.
But viewing public, what are your thoughts here? And let's not gloss over this. Really and truly, can a white person say the N word without being racist? And then who said it? I think it was Chris Rock. Chris Rock said the only time a white person can say that is if it's a girl having sex with a black guy. And she's like, it might have been him or Dave Chappelle, one of them. But like,
Yo,
but this is what I said, right? So you can't be racist just because you said nigger, right? Because how is that racist, right? But
oh
viewing
my
public, what are your thoughts
gosh,
here? And keep me honest, who said it? I think it may have been Dave or I don't know,
that's
one of those
wild.
guys. But
That's
leave it in the
wild.
comments, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Joe Rogan, my nigga. I remember you from Fear Factor. Deuces.